Welcome to episode. Let's talk about it. Squeeze.
B.
EJ.
Just remember, if y'all like the content, hit the like, subscribe button for us. Let us know y'all feedback. We're going to keep pushing through. Next topic we want to discuss. Do fans really respect the grind? We brought this up because when it comes to players now, it became a thing where they kill players for leaving. And then now they begging players to team up. Like, do y'all really respect the grind? Because then when it comes to a player's legacy, y'all judge them on how many rings they got because they decided to stay faithful to one team who just let them down. Like, do y'all really respect the grind?
No. All right. But see, here's the problem.
They kill Dame every week.
But here's the problem with that, and I think this would have went back. This probably would have been went back to our individual topic we talked about focus on individuals and superstars. I think as a player, because fans are fickle. They are truly fickle.
Yeah.
1 year or one time they'll be on this side of the fence with, like you said, you need to do this on your own individually. Next minute, you need to build a team on your own and do it. Next they saying, you need to team up with such and such and go win the championship because you ain't got no championships on your career. Fans are fickle. Mm-hmm. So you, as a player, as a person who plays sport, you cannot start to base your career off of what these fans are saying.
Right.
I think you should focus more so on what your peers, how your peers look at you.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
That's where you should look for your respect.
Find happiness into the game.
Right. Respect for your peers, because these fans right now, like right now, what we just had this conversation where they killing Durant because Golden State didn't win the championship.
Killing Durant on
They're killing him for that, and he's saying, you should have stayed with him. It's like, come on, man. Like, we were just saying that he was a fraudulent superstar because teaming up and creating a whole juggernaut team. Mm-hmm. So how are you gonna start killing? Like, to me, the fans, they are too fickle nowadays. So to me, they don't respect the media. Right, they don't respect.
Stephen A was the one that pushed that narrative. Like, we're going to remember KD career more for leaving stuff than staying. Like, that gets pushed, and then everybody laps around it. They talk about it every single day. And now, he get harassed every day about it. Like, it's corny. Like, y'all don't really respect that grind. Because, go ahead, man.
I was going to say, fans don't respect it, but some players don't respect it either just by doing that jump. Like, to me, Giannis, he went through the process of getting better, losing, dealing with losing every year when y'all thought, people thought he should have won when they had the best record. Getting upset in the playoffs, 2 or 3 times in a row, until he finally broke through and won.
But I think...
does that mean more than a person winning 3 or 4?
That depends on who you look at it as.
You know what I mean?
Because here's the thing with Giannis, and I think this goes credit to him. He stays out the way. And when I mean stay out of the way, you don't hear any type of comments other than when you ask him about the game, any type of comments, any type of arrogant stance with himself. Now, when he's out there playing, it's a different animal.
Right.
But when you talk to him, there's no type of arrogant stance, nothing like that. He's humble.
Right.
He thinks he says all the right thing PR wise, to the point to where I don't remember a time when he ever really got killed media wise or even fan wise.
When he was losing, when he was getting knocked out, when he was losing and getting upset. They was killing him.
The media was talking about.
I'm saying they were killing him.
Yeah, I ain't seen much.
Fans were killing him too.
They wasn't killing him that much.
Right.
I ain't just got into this tier.
Right. I didn't see.
But they say you won the MVP, you won Defensive Player of the Year, and you got knocked out. All that stuff.
That's the way Durant is.
He only lost.
No, he'll get killed like
Durant, LeBron.
No.
That's what I mean.
I'm just saying though.
But Giannis only had 2 years of that. He won the MVP like 2-3 years ago. He didn't come into the league with no expectations.
Right.
He was a bum when he came into the league.
Right.
So he didn't have to worry.
He grind to get.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He grind,
but he was out of the way.
Does that one ring, if he doesn't win again, does that one ring put him at a certain level? Because look, like he said, he grinded, got that one. He had to team up with nobody, no other superstar.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, but that's not. This is not for him, right? The grind is for players who didn't have that team built around him. The organization didn't put nobody around them, so they got to grind being the only guy and be able to push through. Giannis was able to have organization by his 3rd, 4th year, but 4th, 5th year they kept adding pieces for him. And,
so eventually,
I'm just saying, do you respect his rings more than maybe a LeBron winning, the Lakers winning in the bubble, or Durant teaming up with Steph? You know what I mean? Because he grind.
As an individual, yeah, I do, but the fans don't.
The fans don't.
Okay.
Right, the fans
That's
don't.
What I'm saying. Right. That's what I'm trying to get at.
We're talking about the fans. The fans don't.
We fans too at times, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
if his career ends with that one ring that he grinded
he's
for,
never going to be in no
Right, but it seemed like that
should have more respect on this. All I'm saying.
It would, but it won't have more respect on your rankings,
right?
Because they only
but
got
it should is what I'm saying.
So fans don't really respect that grind. They
like Dirk should. You know what I mean?
Right. Nobody holds Dirk. Dirk not even in top 10, 15.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, do people really respect that grind that it takes to put in? Because you got, like I said, we already brought back on previous videos when it comes to the organization. Like, you know, they got to build something around you. These players grind for 8, 9 years. You know, and they, you know, think about it. Situation. Bradley Beal. Now, Bradley Beal clearly just won his money. I mean, at this point, they said he's more likely to re-sign for $258 5 years than sign with somebody. So his situation a little bit different, but he grinding with the Warriors. I mean, with the Wizards.
Yeah.
They ain't building nothing around him.
Right.
He deciding, I'm not going to go and join somebody. I'm going to stay here and figure it out.
Right.
That ain't going to be respected in his career if he ends up with no rings.
Unfortunately,
like, everybody telling him, go leave and team up. That's what everybody's saying to him. Go leave and team up.
That's because we as fans, we have been conditioned, and like you said, you can take this back to the media. We have been conditioned to focus on rings.
Yeah, it's like,
come on. Like, if you don't got the rings, I can't have a conversation about where I rank you because you ain't got no rings, no accolades.
How else you measure somebody, right? What else we gonna do to measure somebody?
Right. So we don't look at what the player did or what he accomplished in his career.
What he had to go through.
Right. What he go through, what he had to grind through.
You forget all that.
Right. You forget all that. But even now you forget all that. The problem is history's not going to remember that.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's not documented.
It's not documented. Like you gonna look at this person's career, they
Yeah.
gonna say, "Oh, he stayed with Washington. They never built any team around him, but this is what he accomplished in that bad situation."
No
it doesn't say that. It just says such and such. 0 championships or 1 championship, right? So in that aspect, you are almost conditioned as a fan to focus on the rings instead of actually the individual and the player.
And right to your point, bringing up Giannis, Giannis had to grind his whole life, right? Like his whole life was going to grind, right? So like what you were saying, he stay out the way, right? So he has a certain level of a respect. Just in general, like nobody just like he has a respect around Lee. So when he pushed through, people were genuinely happy to see this man push through. Right? So people respect that in the moment.
Right.
But these next 4 or 5 years,
they gonna forget.
He start losing. Whatever.
It's gonna be a different. Right. They're
gonna forget about that championship.
It's gonna be a different narrative real quick. So
and I don't think fans respect it, and I think
I don't either.
But in that situation, how else do we judge players? Right? Like what else are we gonna? We take rings out of it. Like how else are we going to do it? We could do skill set. You know that's
if you take rings out of it, then
skill,
I got accolades for me.
Stats on accolades.
It would be accolades for me because your skill. You can have all the skills. Look at freaking Kyrie. Kyrie skill wise, technically, as far as I'm concerned, is the best player to play the game. Skill wise, for sure. Skill wise, but he got no accolades, none whatsoever. He only got that
played enough to get any relevant stats.
That's what I'm just saying. Regardless of how it happened, like a lot of it is his detriment. Some of it is injuries.
Right.
But the fact, like skill wise, he's got the skills. He should have accolades by now. He got none. All he got is that championship with Bron in Cleveland.
All right, we'll put this together then. What type of accolades and stats like count? Right. So say if I get knocked out the playoffs 8 years straight. But top 20 all time in scoring. Like y'all gonna look more at that than y'all look at me in top 20.
But then what did he accomplish with being top 20 in scoring? Like does he
nothing? Like his teams were always bad.
Should start with your team wins? Or how many times your team made the playoffs?
No, what I'm asking was when you're saying that he was top 20 in scoring, but his team never got nowhere. What I'm talking about is
all time.
Yeah, I'm saying all time. Yeah. But what did he accomplish? Does he got scoring titles? Does he have all NBA teams?
But that'd be like your scoring was empty because y'all ain't win. So it's like
it didn't affect winning.
Your team record should be first when you talk about accolades.
How about this? Not counting somebody's team success until they get a top 75 or 100 potential teammate. Because you
need
don't know that.
But you don't know that till you don't.
That's what I'm saying. So when I look at your career, when it's done, I got to look at that, or at least look at you
like who you played with.
Top 10 years in.
All right.
Did you have a top 75 teammate?
Kyrie wasn't a top 75 teammate.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm an X. Like if I'm talking about individual, right? So that's how I'm gonna judge you. So if somebody had Kyrie on their team. Or top 100. Let's do top 100. Because I feel like he was robbed.
He was robbed. I'm just saying he's not a top 75.
So top 100. If you don't got a top 100 player on your team, I'm gonna look at that when I take your 8-year career and before I, judge that and all right, like we can nitpick here and there, but
you still win, or you still
win because I mean, how many teams really didn't win without a top 75, 100 teammate?
No team.
You got Dirk didn't.
Right, you got Giannis.
You got Isaiah first year because even though Rodman became one, he wasn't one when you looking at him in Detroit. Nobody knew he was going to be the defensive.
Yeah, he wasn't right. He wasn't what he was.
He wasn't what he was. So he got the same.
That's going to bring it back though.
Yeah, it was too early.
Yeah, it was too early.
It wasn't.
We talking about
Mike
up to 2000.
Right.
Yeah, like up to 2000.
So think about it. We talking
Kobe.
about Nah, yeah.
Gasol. I'm talking about with Gasol. You think he should have been in there on the?
Well, yeah, Shaq.
I'm talking about on Gasol though. With Gasol.
But we talking about your whole career.
Yeah, your whole career. So
right,
I'm taking the first 8, right?
Okay.
Because I want to see like, did you really have a counterpart? Because that's really what it takes.
But see, that's the argument because technically Isaiah had a counterpart, which was Joe Dumas, but Joe Dumas never made top. He didn't not top 75. He didn't even make top 50.
All right, then let me change that then because you brought up Giannis. Giannis' situation was different. He didn't have a top 75 or 100, but he had 2 solid top maybe 125 players. So it kind of made it.
And Drew Holiday.
Drew and Chris. So
I don't think they're going to make nobody's list, personally, me.
I think 125, I think they can make 125. I think Chris can make 125.
Chris might. I don't think Drew will.
I'm just saying, when you really list the players, you start running out.
He should.
I don't think they'll make I don't see them making. Even if
I think Chris will make it.
If he continue, he will make it. Chris will make it.
If they went from top 75 to top 100 now, maybe Chris. I don't see Drew making it.
All right, Chris will make it. All right, well, if Chris
Chris.
I think Chris will make it. So, but he had a team, right? It was a
team,
and just talking about all time in the league. He had 2 top 20 players, 2 top 25 players on his team. So that allowed them to push through
in the league. Yeah,
at the time, right?
At the time,
to allow them to push through, right?
I'll tell you.
Let's go too. I mean, even though the other team players were hurt,
what?
Kawhi.
What about him?
His championship. I mean, he didn't have no other player.
Which one?
Kawhi.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry, he might be.
Kyle Lowry top 125 probably.
He would have been top 125.
If they do that,
they do it.
That's what I'm saying. But
at that time, that went to a team. We just talking about right now.
That went to a team though. He had Van Fleet, he had Norman Powell, Paul Gasol, he had Siakam. Like it was a team. Like
Marcus
Gasol. Then Siakam. So I think Siakam might end up being top 125 to keep this up what he's doing. So it's certain players who have teams that's built around.
But we're gonna be honest, just keep it in context. 25 years from now. These dudes ain't making no top one. I don't see some of these dudes making the top when they really do a top 100.
Yeah, no. It's also gonna be different.
Depends on who develops and who doesn't.
You got 25 years of talent. I don't see it unless these players come out of nowhere.
Nobody respect that grind, man, because every player wants to leave at some point when the team ain't building nothing around.
Yeah.
Fans
players get patient.
Well, let's be
fans getting patient.
Analysts be a little bit too loose at the lips when they speak on you. Like it's a little bit like. They make it seem like
See, the problem is this: the analysts back before they used to hold you accountable. They used to just hold you accountable. Now they pushing narratives that technically you like. What is you talking about?
So what you mean by before when? Because we hit the era now of the debate shows, and I think that's what changed it.
That's what I'm talking about. Before that, okay. But what I'm talking about when you used to just have the regular sports center where they're just talking about the games and stuff.
Yeah, Stuart Scott didn't go.
It wasn't going too far. If you had a bad game, it's just like you had it like they such had a bad game or you had a bad run.
Every game a legacy game.
Right
every
now
it's
like a whole different focus.
Yeah, every game's a legacy game.
Yep.
I always told y'all like I don't feel like you are the best player in the world if that could change off of a game. You know what I'm saying? So when they would say Bron or KD the best player in the world and they have a bad game, now they're not. They never was the best then, because that's weird.
Right.
If you the best, one game should not, having an off game should not push you back.
Even this past season with Embiid.
1 year shouldn't do it neither, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But listen, with Embiid, he beat Jokic and Giannis earlier in the season, but then he lose late in the season. Now they all of a sudden, he can't win MVP because he lost to Jokic and Giannis, but yet he beat him earlier in the season. So this one game he lost, he doesn't win MVP.
Like the media,
you know what I'm saying?
Fans are like the media.
They're
fickle. They're prisoners of the moment. Yeah. That's the big case because they don't care about what you previously did. They want to know what you did now. And if you ain't performing what you did now, what you previously did, then what you did here don't count. That was then. This is now.
People literally Dame literally said, Bill, go leave and team up with Tatum. Go team up with this guy. Go team up with Bron. Like people just did Kyrie. Go with Bron. Go reunite with Bron. AD's there too, right? So that's a big three.
Yeah.
So when they win, which y'all gonna complain? Yeah, they got a big three. Right. But y'all asking Kyrie
to go
reunite.
Especially the big three that look like it's unbeatable.
Well, they 3 dudes potentially in their prime.
I said that big three look like it's unbeatable. Yeah,
right, but y'all literally saying Kyrie go team up with Bron again.
Right, that's what they.
Y'all forget AD over there. So like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna say it's a super squad, and then y'all gonna get mad that they
say it ain't fair. Right.
Fans are fickle. I'm going to continue to say that. That's why.
I ain't worried about it because I know all 3 of them are gonna be hurt.
Yeah, possibly.
There you go for that.
See, but I'm saying, like, it's like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? Like, because even if Bron's situation, right, AD always hurt, right, more than him. Like, AD's hurt most of the season. It would make sense for me to get another elite player because I can't rely on this guy.
Right.
Unfortunately,
well, that's what they did with Russ. It didn't work.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, that's gonna make me a big three, and now people gonna judge my ring. Mm-hmm. But I need to make a contingency plan because this dude can't stay healthy.
Right.
But see, again, that would be your argument to defend yourself against that.
Yeah,
But secondly, that goes again back to worrying about what the freaking fans is worried about.
Yeah, so we should just,
right. You just got.
That's what KD said. He said, "I care about my happiness. It's rings don't define me."
Right, but
it did.
But my argument with KD is it's not his stance on the fans. It's his stance from his peers. He don't like the fact that Barkley and them is coming at him for the fact that, dude, you didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. The bus
driver, the whole bus driver.
Right.
That. Like, I respect KD's opinion about the fans. I agree with him 100%. Yeah. Screw them because that doesn't matter. But I do think if you're going to play a sport, you should want to get the respect from the people that played the sport either with you or before you. Mm-hmm. And like at least to get there to say, you know what, I respect your career. What you did, great job. I would want that as an individual more so that I can kill the same.
So let's put ourselves in the mind of KD, right?
Right.
I'm trying to win a ring. I need somebody. I seen Brian do it with Kyrie. Mm-hmm. Kyrie's my boy, my brother. Mm-hmm. I team up with him.
Right.
Fortunately, he has not held up his end of the bargain. Right.
Okay.
Who else can KD really team up with? Can he just keep hopping around? Like, what else is he supposed to do? My opinion is go with Dame. I was go with Dame down in Portland.
I was gonna say go get Bill, but you say go with Dame.
Yeah, I would say go with Dame because Bill's not a winner to me. He has no playoff success, not really nothing.
I know, but with
Dame is hungry, and Dame has, and I like what Portland is doing. They're building actually some pieces down there. Not nothing to help Dame, but to add to a team that's already got it.
If you add KD to that team, that team was a little different.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but with Dame right now,
no. But if you add somebody else with it, they have a really solid chance.
He could go. I wouldn't be mad at him teaming up with Dame.
Yeah, I wouldn't Josh Hart, Simmons, that ball.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at him.
They got a squad.
I wouldn't be mad at him if he did that, but again,
I leave again. Come on, man.
You got to. You can't get Dame to come because he already committed to Portland.
That's what I'm saying. So I got to keep leaving, and if I'm him,
he got with him. It's tricky because he made a statement on his Twitter, which I agree with him that his career has been dead since he left the year he signed with Golden State and left OKC.
Yeah, other people ask,
so there's nothing, far as I'm concerned, him wise, he can do that's going to fix that for him.
But that goes to the question though, I
always felt you should have stayed in OKC.
I was about to say, players
could have punched through. Y'all was 3-1 up. I don't want to hear it. Y'all made the finals.
Right. But that's what I'm about to say. To the question is some players don't respect it either.
But he felt pressure from the media and from the fans.
He also didn't have the best on court with Russ. He this dude is not going to help me. He going to shoot me out.
So that's when you go to management and be like, look, you got either he goes or I go.
I know that, but he's got the pressure because of what?
I know he felt. But I'm just saying
he folded under the pressure.
Right, but I'm just saying some players don't respect it either. Trying to team up with each other, is that respecting it? You know what I'm saying?
But they don't respect. But if the
fans got to, it depends on if your organization.
It depends on if you. Right. I'm saying if the organization ain't trying to win. I understand.
But let me put you like this:
but
if Giannis
just because you make the playoffs and you lose a couple times don't mean all right, I'm jumping shit.
But here's the problem. I don't know if Giannis was feeling that same pressure if he would have stayed with Milwaukee. Because remember, he was ready to leave Milwaukee.
Yeah, it was reports.
Right, reports. He was ready to leave Milwaukee.
Giannis was in an interview saying, I'm not going to make a commitment now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, that's leverage. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to stay or not.
For sure. And then they got him Drew, and then they got him.
That's leverage, but that's leverage to force him to get pieces
force
around.
Him to do right.
You look at it from Kevin Durant's perspective, certain teams you can go to, but
respectable. I think on the Dame will still give him respect.
But he's done. But like I was saying, he's done. There's nothing he can do that's going to change the narrative around his career.
Yeah, if he went to Brooklyn, it would.
No, that Golden State's going to always be a blight.
Oh, it is, but
it's going to always be a
he
blight.
Would beat that. He would get rid of that bus driver.
He would probably get a little bit more.
He would earn respect from everybody.
Yeah. He would get respect, right? He probably
from his peers.
He would get the respect from his peers now.
Just like Brian. Brian didn't have no respect when he went to Miami, but once he won in Cleveland, everybody respected him.
That Cleveland one, that mattered more.
That's what I'm saying. So KD the same way.
KD
the same way. He got to get it though. Steph really didn't have respect till he got that Finals MVP. They respected his game, but you ain't sitting at nowhere near us at that table. Mm-hmm. So you got to at least get one of these things. You got it. And, so now he at the table. So as I said, fans don't respect the grind. They need to stop acting like they do.
Yeah, and they never will.
They never will because they're too fickle.
Never will.
They too fickle. Fickle. They want.
At least not in this era. To me, not in this era.
And that's all they're gonna cause more player movement. Yeah. Because it is annoying logging onto your socials every day and people just
harassing you.
But that's the problem.
That's the problem. That's the problem, right?
Get off of it.
Right, stop lying.
I know, but they grew up with it.
It's the era.
It's easy for y'all to say y'all ain't grow up with it.
Right, it's the era.
Grew up with it.
They have to deal.
They make money off of it. It's a lot.
Right.
Yeah,
They have to deal with that. But I think if you start to get these players to understand, fans are going to come and go. Mm-hmm. They're gonna
like you one minute,
hate you the next. They're gonna love you one minute, hate you the next.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you play the sport, the only people you should be concerned with are the people that played before you, the people that played with you.
Well, people, your team.
Nobody's your fan, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody's your fan. If they're not a kid, nobody's your fan. Kids are the only ones that's your fans. Those ain't really your fans.
No.
As soon as you leave, they burn in your jersey.
Yeah. Right. So that's what I'm saying. If you play ball and get the respect from that, then that's all that matters from your peers. From your peers. That's,
are you happy, bro? You got
just
your
be happy
house.
within yourself.
Yeah, you got your mama house for what you did. You stable now. Like
that's a mindset that very few have.
Yeah, just be happy with yourself.
But then that also
if you feel like you're putting your best out there on the court,
right?
And that's it.
Yeah, that also leads to another thing, right? They got to keep that competitive fire and edge that makes them do it. Because if they start to get settled, like I made it, they ain't gonna work on their games. Like, they ain't gonna have that fire.
Well, that's what separates player, star, superstar.
Yeah, it's the type of the good from the
competitive
greats.
edge. And
the goods from the greats.
Yeah. Remember, that fueled KD. He wanted to prove that he was better than Bron. That's why he
did
everything in his career.
But he didn't prove it.
No, but he had 3 years.
4 years.
He would say he was better than Bron.
Yeah.
He was the best player in the world. That's all he wanted. You know what I'm saying? But then when he left, and he realized it just flipped all the way back.
Right, went back to before. Yeah.
That's because Super told from me, I love him in OKC. But even though he didn't punch through the last playoff, not the one that he just lost, but the one where he went against Milwaukee, where he had to go do what he had to do.
Yeah,
that's when I finally said, you know what? I respect what the heck you doing. I respect the
man. Put I'm like 50, like 9-8 by himself. Almost beat the defending champ by himself.
He did everything he could possibly do.
Only but a toenail.
Yep. That's the only thing that changed. He did everything he could possibly do to beat them.
So, and that's why people still have him as the best in the world, even though he lost the Giannis and them. They was like, nah.
But this series, what happens with him getting swept?
That was bad.
That was bad.
And Tatum,
and that was bad.
Well, what y'all think about if Tatum win the ring? That's really of a grind, right? Like they've been going to the playoffs since they was kids.
Yeah,
in the league
every year,
and they just kept losing. But see,
but that's the
when
thing.
They finally punched through.
That's the thing. That's what I mean when I talk about narratives and pressure. You don't hear nobody killing Tatum right now. We was going to kill Tatum.
They still expect him to get there. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. The expectations, huh?
He only 24.
Right, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. But the expectations that's sitting on certain players compared to other players allows them to
play different,
and to grind with a team as opposed. If he was getting killed to say, "Yo, you came in the league, we expected you to be the best player in the league. You've been here for 5 years, you didn't win nothing." I guarantee you, Tatum be looking like, "Yo, I gotta get out of here, go to another team." But the expectations on him is so low, he ain't got to deal with that pressure.
That's because he's so young.
Right.
Yeah, he's older.
Yeah. Nah, Bron got to deal with that pressure when he came in. He was young.
Nah, but Bron wasn't making the playoffs and losing, right? Tatum like there. It's like,
first
year. So everybody like, all right, you almost there.
Remember, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Who did?
Tatum though.
I know that, but he's saying Bron was.
Remember his first 3 years they were losing. They was one of the worst teams in the league. Like,
and then
Bron didn't have a pressure like that.
No,
people knew. No, I'm saying people knew eventually he was going to get there, but not the first year.
What I mean is Cleveland. Nobody looked at Cleveland as being the team that really realistically get to the finals.
Yeah, not coming.
Boston had like years where they should have did it early in Tatum's career, and they just didn't do it.
Yeah, but
so people
but at that time they didn't look at Tatum as the best player on the team too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right. So that's why he avoided some of that pressure.
Right.
Now I think between last year. He became the man. Like,
I think this year might. Yeah,
I think Brown took more of that. Took it from him. Yeah, if you ask me.
I think this year then he probably might see that pressure.
Right. Oh, coming up now.
Yeah, depending on how you play, because we see what you're capable of.
Right.
So now this is what you're capable of. We got to see this or better. Yeah. You can't take a step back.
Right. Yeah, Brian had like the most pressure of anybody. They was calling him prodigy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you wasn't expecting him to win in the first year.
Yeah, not until that fourth year he got to the finals.
Yeah. Once he did that was it.
That's what I'm saying.
He couldn't. It was on after that.
That fourth year he got to the final. Like, this what you can do?
It's on after that.
Yeah, the rest of the years is on.
Yeah, so I think at that point, because he had the pressure, but nobody looked at Cleveland and was like, all right, you and Darius Miles about to
blow up. You know
what I'm saying?
Great, what was it, Ricky Davis too?
Yeah, they didn't want him there. They was like, yo, man, this ain't
Big Z.
Remember they was talking about him in the interview before they got him. They was like, man, he ain't gonna really change nothing for our team. Like, he ain't gonna really do that.
I don't know.
He only 19. What he gonna really do with that?
Yeah, Darius Miles was talking about it. Like, we here for me. No, No,
No,
that's not what's going on today, bro.
No, I ain't sent you the memo. But yo, this is where we stand on that. The fans really respect the grind. I think we all universally here feel like no, they do not respect the grind, and they don't. You know, it's just a thing people say. Then they just gonna judge you, and players should just
everything's for the moment.
Right, players should just ignore. You got to, as a player, you got to ignore the fans and just play the sport you love.
And the media.
Play it the right way for the right reasons. And the only people you should worry about, as far as I'm concerned, me personally, is the respect from your peers.
For sure. So that's where we stand on the topic. It's another great episode. Like, subscribe, give us feedback on the channel. Now let's talk about it.